Yo, what up? We back with another edition of CT's RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And I just want to start off by saying today is a beautiful day for me. I got to see my daughters today. Haven't seen my daughters in over 5.5 years. Last time I seen my little girls was April 1st, 2014. I left two baby girls at the ages of 12 and 8 years old. And today I came back to two young women. So we had our first daddy-daughter date in a long time, and it was bittersweet because while it felt so good to see them after such a long time, I couldn't help but to think about how I allowed the prison system to rob me for so many years out of their lives. And that's what prison does. Prison is cancerous to families. A lot of times we go in as family men and husbands and come out as baby daddies and single. That shit is tough. And I used to be a nigga that get mad at the female, but I had to think of it like this. Everybody ain't built for this shit. Everybody ain't tough enough. Everybody ain't built strong enough to withstand this prison shit. So, in order to make it work, both parties got to be strong and overly dedicated to making their relationship work. Because it's hard as hell to run a family from a prison cell. Trust me, I've tried. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's tough. And it's crazy because a lot of the dudes don't think about if the shoe was on the other foot. And put yourself in her predicament, and if your girl was to get locked up today and sentenced to 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, shit, for some niggas, maybe even 6 months. It won't even take that long, they with the next bitch. They chick ain't even safe enough to get a job that'll allow her to leave that nigga alone for 8 hours, much less 8 months for that matter. And ironically, those be the main ones. You know the type. Any nigga that been to prison know the type I'm talking about. The niggas that be screaming at they chicks over the phone, then banging and slamming the phone down and causing a scene and all that craziness. Shit. I remember I was in one jail. Was it MacDougal? I can't remember what jail it was in. I don't been in so many jails, so many different facilities. But I remember I was in one facility and it was almost a deal behind that. Like, we had this kid, he used to scream on the phone, yelling at his girl, arguing with his girl all loud, slam the phone down all hard. And this was on a daily basis. Every day he go through the same shit. Like, it was to the point where niggas was like, is he really talking to his girl or is he just putting on a scene? Like, but I'm pretty sure he was really talking to a girl because he was emotional. But dudes had to really approach him like, yo, homie, we gotta use those phones too. So if you break that phone, you gonna become a deal. And the nigga gonna deal with you. Long story short, he ain't slammed the phone no more. I don't even remember him ever even using the phone anymore after niggas stepped to him. Now that I think about it. Because he wasn't really built like that anyway. He was one of them, He's one of them dudes that he only wanted to get tough with his female. And and I understood him to an extent. Not on the part where he'd only get tough with his female, hell no. But to the extent where this was his first bid and he was dealing with that pain of losing his family and not being able to do nothing about it. That's a tough pill to swallow. And on top of everything else you got going through your head, you got just your first, you come in this shit, your first bid, you got a motherfucker telling you when you could go to sleep, when you could eat, when you could fucking go outside, when you could watch TV, when you gotta turn your TV off, all this crazy shit. You got a motherfucker running your life for you. And you ain't used to that shit. You a grown man, you used to running your own life. You come in this shit, you got this kid that's maybe fresh out of high school or some shit telling you, yo, it's time to go to bed, bro. Go turn your TV off. Not to mention, you got your own safety and well-being that you gotta worry about, like, because I'm pretty sure a nigga that went to jail got a jail story of some poor unlucky soul that they don't see some shit happen to. So you got all of that going through your head. Now you add that to the fact that now your woman, your wife, your baby mother, whatever your title is for her, she don't want to be with you no more. That's tough, you know what I mean? Because, for whatever reasons, there's 1,000 reasons. You got some chicks that just ain't shit and you ain't beneficial to them no more. So now they gonna go find somebody that is. It's fucked up, but that's the reality. That's the way shit goes nowadays. And then you got some chicks that's really just not strong enough to deal with it, I'm not even going to bring up the fact because I know there's some chicks out there that's going to say, but what about all the shit he did to me? We ain't even going to bring that up because if you still stayed with him after he done all that shit to you, then it ain't the time that now that he in jail, let me kick the nigga what he down. That ain't dope. We ain't doing that. So I'm not even going to entertain that one because I hear that a lot. Like, I frown upon that shit still. Even though I'm a nigga that look at it from both sides of the spectrum, I feel like if you was by that nigga's side when he was out here in the streets, then it shouldn't be so easy for you to be ready to just be by somebody else's side because he not able to do it no more. And the first thing come out of these females' mouths would be something like, oh, well, he cheated on me, he this, he that. And I'm like, he ain't do that when he went to jail. I'm pretty sure he ain't in jail cheating on you. So if he cheated on you when y'all was together in the street and you didn't leave him, then don't start kicking that shit now that a nigga down. Like, don't wait for your opportunity to get your kicks in when I'm already getting jumped. Like, I was a firm believer in the fair fight. That's why when I go to jail, I don't even argue with chicks, like, because I know, for one, I know how I deal with it and it's not healthy. So I see you when I get home because it's not fair. But, you know what I mean? For this kid's sake, I was there before. And that's where I understood him at. Like, I was telling the homies, like, he going through it right now. And I dealt with my pain differently. I can't give him no advice because the way I dealt with it wasn't healthy. That's why I stayed in the box a lot my last bid. And it took some time, but after I got over that and I got all that out of my system, it turned me cold. You see, a lot of dudes don't know just how much prison fucks with you on so many different aspects. That shit could really make you be the type of motherfucker that's afraid to commit. The majority of my bid, I went around preaching to dudes how you don't want no girl when you come to prison. And how prison damn sure ain't the place to start a relationship. Because that's a tactic that a lot of jail dudes use to protect themselves. And it worked for me. Sorry. Dudes in the halfway house calling me for cigarettes and shit. It worked for me until I met a female that was determined to get to know me and really interested in me. And then determined to be in a relationship with me while I was in there. So now all the niggas that I was telling how prison ain't the place to start a relationship, they looking at me crazy. And I had to kind of push it on her like, yo, it's her, man. But at the end of the day, you got to really do what works for you while at the same time protecting you, you know? So you live your life, you know what I mean? And whatever makes you happy, you got to figure out a way to do it, but not jump out of the window, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to never give, prison is a place where you want to make sure you control the power to your heart. So you don't want to never give someone so much power that they can have you go to the box. The wrong piece of mail or the wrong letter might have you go to the box. And as hard as it got to be, as hard as it's going to be, you got to know when it's time to walk away. You got to be able to walk away. I think it was Heat, like the dude saying Heat, got to be able to walk away from anything. That's kind of like the attitude you got to have. And on that note, I'm going to wrap this up. Don't forget to do the right thing, man. Hit the subscribe button, man. I appreciate all the support I've been given. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done it yet, follow me on Instagram, wes.smith.129. That's Wes without the T, WES.SMITH.129. Peace.